Hey, I'm Michael, and I'm going to show you how you can create books using ChatGPT and AI. So now first we want to go over to homeschoolauthor.com. This website I created, and if you scroll down here, I created a prompt that everyone can use. This is what you're going to be using. So you want to copy and paste this. Fill in the blanks. So I am going to create a science fiction book for a juvenile audience, trying to use a style of the authors James Dashner and Richard Paul Evans and Brandon Mull, because that is the audience that I have. So right now I'm going to say like, you are AI pen pal or something like that. An AI author and book writer specializing in, so my theme is science fiction fantasy. Your role is to help me write my upcoming book by sounding like, and now this is where you want to add James Dashner, Richard Paul Evans, and Brandon Mull, imitating the ways. And now here you want to repeat the process again, just so it clearly understands who you're trying to impersonate. Dashner, Richard Paul Evans, and Brandon Mull. Write and word their books, especially and now you want to put in their book series that you want to have the same style or the way that it's written. So I want to add the Maze Runner series, the Michael Vey series, and the Five Kingdoms series. Your knowledge base includes all of their books, masterclasses, teachings, and public interactions they have done within the last 10 years. You understand how they write their books, how they speak, their flow, and how they make their masterpieces. As a combined AI version of James Dashner, Richard Paul Evans, and Brandon Mull, your goal is to help me write my upcoming science fiction book using a combined version of their tones. Now I made this optional. This is if you don't have an idea of what book you want to write, or you're still stuck in like trying to brainstorm ideas, characters, the theme, the style. I just made this extra prompt. You can find this on my website, homeschoolauthor.com. But I already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be creating 2 bonus chapters. My book, The Adventures of Lucas Stone, which is on Amazon. Well, I already have an idea of what I'm doing. I'm just going to tell it what I want, and then I'm going to show you how I do it. So right here, it's asking me the questions that it has for me, and I'm just going to fill this out. There's a few ways that you can actually do this. You can just go like this and say question 1, period, and type your answer in, or you can copy and paste the entire chat thread and then put like a dash and then just write out what you want. Either way works. Sometimes easier to do this if the copy and paste way if there are multiple questions in the, I guess, very long question. But if not, then you can just go and say like 1 period. So for example, the first question is setting and world building. Can you describe the primary setting of your story? What kind of world is it? Dystopian, fantasy, modern with sci-fi elements? How does the setting influence the plot? So I am going to say 1, real world. The thing that they're in is not magical and everything like that. Like, magic doesn't exist until they find out how. But like, as for the city and the setting, it's pretty normal. So I'm going to just fill out this question. Now the next question is core themes and messages. What are the main themes or messages you wish to explore in your book? These authors often weave significant themes through the narrative. What are yours? So this is more of like you've read my book. It's about, like saving family with like superpowers and like time travel and very similar styles of these authors that I'm trying to speak about. So I am going to fill in the details. Third question, character development. Could you introduce your protagonists and other key characters? What are their backgrounds, motivations, and how do they evolve through the story? So here I'm going to fill in the details about my main character, which is Lucas Stone. He is a fictional character. His best friend and shopkeeper is Jeremiah, who is one of the key allies in this book. He helped them learn how to use their powers and how to do all their magic stuff. So I'll fill in the details there. Make sure you add all the details, talking about their name, their age, how they look, everything like that. And some of the key details of how they act or how they are. So I just filled in the details of my main character's name is Lucas Stone. He is 16 years old with brown hair and brown eyes. He's recently discovered he has chrono warping powers, meaning he can slow down time and speed up time around him. Alongside Lucas is his best friend Caleb Pierce. Caleb is also 16 years old with shorter blonde hair and will always help Lucas. Caleb has recently, similar to Lucas, discovered his powers. He has force projection powers, meaning he can project objects and use energy with a flick of his wrist and concentration. I give it those details because of the character and their powers, and so chat understands what I'm talking about. Also there's Jeremiah. He owns a small antique shop in Atlanta, Georgia. He is an awakener, meaning he can help people awaken their powers, but he doesn't do that now, except for Lucas and Caleb. He's now retired and just runs his shop. He taught the boys how to use their powers and sent the boys off on a mission to another realm to save Lucas's long-lost, presumably dead father. Now on to question 4, plot structure and pacing. What is a general outline? I think that I would want it to be more fast-paced, similar to the Hardy Boys books, if you've ever read those, the older ones, which I still think are really good. Those are like shorter chapters, and that's how I made my book, in the style of like the chapters. It's how it's shorter chapters, but more fast-paced and like good character development. At least I tried to make it that way. So I'm going to try to make it like that, but like fast-paced like the Maze Runners. Question 5, inspirational elements. Are there specific elements or scenes from the Maze Runner series, Michael Vey series, or the Five Kingdoms series that you found particularly inspiring or wish to echo in tone, theme, or style? So I'm going to say yes, all of the above. I like all of those themes, which are made for a younger teen audience from 10 to 13ish years old. I like how the character development is in those books and how the themes are very strong. Create a blend using all those styles. All right, question 6, your unique twist. What makes your story unique? How does it differentiate the works of Dashner, Evans, and Mole while still hoping to emulate their style? I think what makes my book unique is how they are learning to cope with their normal life, with their powers, and how they went out in their new realm to save his dad, which I put a few chapters in there. I tried to have it so the readers would connect with the characters really well. And I don't know, I made this book for the younger version of me. So every time I would write, I would think, what would like 12, 13-year-old Michael want to read? And that's kind of the biggest inspiration I got for this. But because I wanted me as like a 12-year-old to read it and be like, whoa, I wish I was like a best friend with him. We'd have like powers and then like go like save the world type of stuff. I want the readers to become connected to the characters in this book, and I want to have them as a role model, as if they could be their best friend. Number 7, intended audience. Who do you envision as your targeted audience, similar to the young adult relationship of the authors mentioned, or are you aiming for a different demographic? So for me, I want a similar audience. So I put similar audience, kids who want to read a fun, shorter story of superpowers, adventure, and action, and time travel. Number 8, almost there. Are there any specific challenges or concerns you have in mind that you'd like to address during the writing process? I'm personally kind of happy-go-lucky, and I've got this mindset of what's the worst that can happen? I'm just going to do it. I kind of just put like, I'm just going to put no, not really. I'll just hope for the best. Last question, number 9, title and working concepts. Do you already have a title or working concepts for chapters or scenes that you're particularly excited about? So right here, I am going to put all the information saying how I already made a book. I'm doing this for the purpose of maybe I'm going to leave out the purpose of a YouTube video because it might throw it off. But I'm going to say I already created a book and I'm just making 2 bonus chapters. So right here, I'm just going to fill out some detail of the book and what I want it to write next. So I just went saying it's just going to be 2 bonus chapters of what life is like after Lucas saved his dad. I said, so the book started off with Lucas, how he started feeling that time felt strange, and he and his best friend Caleb Pierce went to look for answers and stumbled into Jeremiah's antique shop. Jeremiah then helped them learn how to use their powers. Then Lucas found out that his dad is still alive in a different realm. So Jeremiah sent the boys off to another realm where Lucas and Caleb saved Lucas's dad and brought him back home. That's a simple explanation of this book. And now I'm going to say what I want it to write. I just wanted to write 2 pretty simple chapters of what life will be like. Okay, now with all these details, I want you to write me the bonus chapters. I want you to write how Lucas's life is great now. His dad is back at the house and Lucas is enjoying it. Lucas and Caleb are still practicing their powers, and one day Lucas and Caleb go to Jeremiah's shop to visit. And Jeremiah tells them that his failed ex-student in the past that went rogue with powers is on the run again, and Jeremiah will need to send the boys off to stop him in another realm. Making it so that the ending could transform into another book, or it could end there, make it flexible. So I made it so that it's very easy for me to create, book 2 if I want to, or I made it flexible enough that the series could end there. And now I'm gonna hit send and see what it comes back with. If this ever happens, just make sure that you copy it, because you do not want to write that out again, trust me. This looks pretty good. It seems like the type of scene that I wrote in the past. It seems pretty good. I would probably go through and change up some things and tell it what you like and what you don't like. That's how you train the chatbot. But for one prompt, I think this is very good. It's kind of the basics of it. So this is a similar process to how I created my first book. The process I did was I told it what I liked, and I told it what I didn't like. You might have some challenges. I had a challenge where it kept wrapping up each chapter as if it were wrapping up the book. So I had to tell it to stop doing that, and that fixed it. But as of now, this is the basics of how to write an AI book. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you hopefully get some inspiration from this and you have more knowledge on how to create your own book, your first book. I mean, that's something you want to be proud of, and it's much better than saying, hey chat, write me a book. This is something that you'll work for and something that you'll actually be proud of and something that you can show. So thank you.